This is just another day working for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. I'm crying because I just got out of work. You guys never knew it, but I actually work as a substitute teacher for Miami-Dade County Schools. I had it where a teacher pushed me. I had another teacher actually grab my arm. And moved me because she didn't like where I was standing. I had an administrator at the time make fun of me for going through a scare with a cancer screening. And it's awful because you are constantly, in my case, I'm constantly gaslit, I'm constantly verbally abused, but you guys never knew this. And I've been working as a sub, and they treat me really, really badly. Whether you're a teacher or a substitute teacher like me, constant gaslighting, constantly abused, verbally, sometimes physically, have been pushed by other teachers. Just another day coming out of work. The abuse is constant. It's constant. I write it in my phone because they tell you, like with psychology advice, with gaslighting, that when the abuse is very bad, you need to write it in your phone because you won't even remember what's happened anymore. I mean, in a single day, I'm probably verbally abused on average 5 times a day. It could be more than that. So we are in the car, and it is a rainy day here in Miami. We're headed to Publix. So I wanted to do a quick update video on the subbing that I've been doing. So on Monday I went to sub, and I ended up kind of pressuring a sub caller unintentionally into having me work the next day, which was that Tuesday that just passed, because I don't know, there were other administrators in the office and whatever. She ended up getting pressured into it. So I ended up working this past Tuesday. I think that was the 9th, January 9th. So I worked, and I've gone through a lot of emotional abuse in this subbing environment over the 4 or so years I've worked there. And that was when I was considered a Miami-Dade County Public Schools employee, when there was more prestige. I had it where a teacher pushed me. I had another teacher actually grab my arm. And moved me because she didn't like where I was standing. I had an administrator at the time make fun of me for going through a scare with a cancer screening. I had another teacher make fun of me for that cancer screening. I mean, there was a lot. There's been a lot. Now, under the Kelly system, there's absolutely no prestige. It was this downward slope where first she scheduled us like every day for like 3 months, then that was removed. Then she scheduled us for a week. Then it was she scheduled us here or there. Then it was you need to pick up a shift, but then I'll try to schedule you. Then she didn't schedule me at all. Then it was you only can try to pick it up yourself and compete with the other people. Found out other subs are being scheduled. You're scheduled. She takes it away. So it's been a lot. It went from 16 plus days, always consistent income, to probably the average will be 4 days a month. One way, me grabbing it myself on the side, the chance a teacher schedules me, that type of thing. What's funny is I actually have 2 days scheduled for the end of the month, and 2 days scheduled a couple weeks from now, but nothing in the interim now. And quite frankly, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to go in until then. I feel like my mind needs to recover. And I was saying is that when I was a Miami-Dade County Public Schools teacher, Miami-Dade County Public Schools substitute, I experienced, a lot of emotional abuse that I just mentioned. But the abuse that happened on Tuesday Wasn't as severe as, someone making fun of you for a cancer scare, but it's just gotten to me. I've been kind of like in a stupor the last couple days, just like very numb. Like if you watch my shorts, or you're familiar with my shorts and not just my long form content, you can see how bubbly I am in shorts and things like that. And I try my best to do those to spread happiness, but I also make these vlogs, which are kind of like this contradiction content on here, where you get to see a different side of me. And the last couple days, ever since Tuesday, I've been kind of out of it. I even cried this morning, just like came out. I went in Tuesday, hour before I was supposed to be in there. And I get in, and one of the administrators is explaining to me that she wants me to go to a lower level class and to lower grade class, and to assist them in logging into the computer in their portal so that they're set up to take a test. I go, okay. And I'm trying to ask her a follow-up question on what she wants me to do. And her actions are like this: listen to me. That's my dad. That's what she does. Listen to me. She's spoken to me before like that. I remember she once in conversation when she was switching me from one class to another when a different teacher had to leave or something like that. And this is when I was a Dade County employee. She goes, "Stop talking. I don't want to hear you talk. I want to hear you talk again. I don't want to hear your voice. Don't ask teachers nothing. I just want to hear silence from you." That's how I was spoken to in the past. But she does this: listen to me. So I just went silent. Got to the room. Was assisting, trying to touch base with the teacher. And this teacher, he didn't know how to log onto the computer, or pretended he didn't know how to. And he was telling me, "I want you to go back downstairs and talk to that administrator and tell her I'm having difficulty." And I'm like, I'm not going down there. I'm going to go ask one of the other teachers on this floor who are also taking the test how to log on. And I think I might have accidentally gone to his superior. I don't really know who's in charge on each floor. Brought in that teacher. And she's like, "Oh, okay, do you need help, Mr. So-and-so?" And he's like, "No." He goes into some weird voice. He holds his hands together like a little child or something. And he goes, "No." And she's like, "Do you need help?" She said, "You don't know how to log on." He's like, "I am fine." It was just weird. It was very, very weird. I'm looking at the other teacher. She's looking at me, and it's just really, really weird. This went on for 5 minutes in some weird voice. It was okay. So she ended up leaving. I'm still in here with him with this weird situation. He gets annoyed with me. He's like, "Why can't you proctor them?" I said, "I'm not a teacher. I can't proctor them." "Then what are you here for?" "I'm here to help you log on the students onto the computer so that they're set up to take the test and then I will leave the room." He goes, "Okay." And then another teacher comes in to assist with proctoring with him in the room. And they're having a problem with the computers not being charged. And she's like, "Go to another room on the floor, knock on their doors, and get more computers." And I said, "The other teachers have all started the examiner. They have sheets up on the door that says 'Do not disturb.'" And I said, "I can't do that." She goes, "We've always done that here for the 10 years that I've worked here." And I said, "I'm a Kelly girl. I can't do that." And she's like, "Oh, I know." And it's this is the same teacher. When I was a Dade County employee about a year ago, she saw all the students hugging me in the hall and saying, "We love you." And she stopped me and she goes, "Why do they love you?" And I'm like, "Well, probably because I'm kind to them. Something you should try. You should try that as a teacher. I know it's like a far-fetched thing to say. Maybe you should try to have kindness." So then the teacher, the male teacher, he criticizing the students a lot in the class. They didn't have headphones. "Why are you just sitting there? Why don't you know to ask me if you don't have a headphone?" So he makes one of the boys in the class cry. He won't take the test. He also won't leave the room. So he's just sitting there. And I go out into the room. I go out of the room and sit in the hall. So all this abuse, the three people, teacher, the other teacher, the administrator downstairs, all occurred within a 2-hour period, more an hour period. hour and a half, and then for an hour or so I was just sitting in the hall waiting for them to finish their test, doing hallway proctoring, like hallway monitoring of students that walk by and are loud no matter what you do. And I just sat in the hall basically for an hour or so. But I don't know, something about going in and as this current state where I know that I'm not called, I pick up shifts like I'm a bird trying to find breadcrumbs. I just kind of fell apart. I started crying this morning. I originally had kind of kowtowed and told the sub-caller, okay, I'll be in wait, I'll be on standby in the morning, I'll stand across the street and I'll text you, can I come in, do you have work for me? And I realized that I cannot do that. I cannot do that on top of the abuse I'm already enduring. I'm not going to wake up, for example, on a Monday morning and be at the grocery store or another venue down the street and be like, do you have work for me? Can I come in and have my backpack ready with my lunch ready to go? I can't do that. Like a day laborer, I can't do that. So the abuse is special. It finally got to me today. I've had a lot of moments where I've been crying from this school. I could probably insert some footage here of me crying, which was from the first week back. This is just another day working for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Subbing at this school when ironically I was still under the Dade County system, but we already knew the transition was happening, and that was from another incident that had occurred where I endured verbal and emotional abuse. And in that case, I was crying hysterically in the office. And initially they came over and tried to console me, and then at a certain point they laughed and kind of walked away. And that's how I left. I left the school that day crying hysterically. I had students, middle schoolers I've seen them grown up over the years, 4 years at the school, coming up to me going, I had sunglasses on, I was trying to hide that I was crying. And as they approached me and they got close, they go, are you okay? What is wrong? Because these are, perceptive students and they know something's wrong. And, I am appreciative that I'm not scheduled for the next 2 weeks. I have to give some thought really to wondering if I'm even going in at the end of the month anymore, because this is a situation where I've been not emotionally just really beat down the last few days, and I don't think that that's worth it for a couple $100, and that affects my second job, which is my primary job. It affects my mood there. It affects the way I interact with others. It affects the channel, and these all don't seem like things that are worth it. Right now in this moment filming it, I'm like in recovery mode where I'm trying to recover from the abuse I endured Tuesday. Why are they doing this? Youth, parents, anti-Semitism. One of the main people involved in this on Tuesday is connected to someone who was having a very anti-Semitic conversation in the office a few weeks ago. So, we're just at Publix now. I'm going to do some grocery shopping. I'll try to snap out of it a little bit and do my shorts. And I hope you guys realize on this channel, I guess I'll talk about that more in another video when I talk about the direction of the channel, that I'm able to do vlogs on this channel where I talk about real things, and I think that that's a way I spread awareness. And then I hope that the shorts, which are comedic and comedy skits, spread happiness in a different way. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to go grocery shopping now and try to just, pick up some comfort food. and I guess I have to experience burnout, which is what I'm experiencing. I looked it up. It said just kind of give yourself a few days and hopefully I'll start to feel better. I remembered to mention to you that, so I get into this teacher's class and I'm asking him a question about like signing them in or like different things. And he's like, I am following my orders and now I am telling you the orders or something like that. And it was like, and then he doesn't answer me anymore when I'm asking him things, and it like goes silent, and it was like I was ready to run down the hall and be like, I'm done. This is not worth it. I even muttered that to one of the teachers who was like a freelance teacher in the hall. I'm like, this is not worth it for $100. I am going to leave. And I even I said to the teacher who had gone into the class actually to assist him. This is the teacher that works there full time. I said, I'm very happy to be in the hall and not be in there in that classroom. She goes, I would feel the same way. It's like, so others who are more empathic teachers, because not every teacher is like, 90% are not the greatest probably at the school, but the few good ones probably relate to what I'm seeing at the school. But yeah, now we're at the grocery store. So we are at Publix and we're just gonna pick up some groceries, especially, with the weekend and everything. And, for those of you that are following my channel regarding the substitute teaching, I only worked one day of subbing this week, and that was because I was able to grab the class on the online site. Every time I essentially clock out, I notice in the sub-caller's office that there's these elderly subs that are turning in their keys, their ID tag for the day, and these are women that are at the age that would not be able to be stalking an app and trying to figure out if they could attain themselves a day of work. So these two older women are still some of the original subs from before we did the transition to Kelly Services. And as I've mentioned in my other videos, I'm not going to rehash everything in this video. Like, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole and the last person she calls. And, I think the average looks like something like 4 or 5 days a month. And that's with being very aggressive and trying to get myself a day of work, where you're just, on the site. And if you don't open that app and have your phone out at all times, it will be gone within a minute. And then it opens the question, well, what are you doing with your day that you're so available and your phone is out in front of you? Some of those days I've honestly been home and the phone has been out on the table in front of me, and that's how I was able to grab those days. I'm very grateful and appreciative of my other job that I ended up getting when I was notified of the transition. I love my other job. I can say that these people have turned into my work family. They appreciate me. They appreciate me when I do a good job. So I'm very happy with that. And I feel that logically that's going to be my prime focus, where I give all my effort to. And the subbing, like I said, I worked one day this week. I'm not on the schedule for next week. And then I think I have it where I have 2 days in the next following week. I don't even know how I'm handling Monday, because originally I told a sub-caller I would be in wait and be willing to essentially walk in and be turned away on a Monday, and I'm not willing to do that. So I don't know for Monday how I'm going to approach that. If I'm going to send her a text early in the morning, if I'm even willing to wake up and do that, I haven't decided yet. But I'm not going to have it where I go in and get turned away and then my entire day is ruined. And like I said, I worked one day this week, and the experience has put me into a weird frame of mind. I'm from watching my shorts,
that I'm a very, very bubbly person, and I've just like gone into like a stupor from the mistreatment of the subbing and what they've done regarding the transition from Dade schools to Kelly. So I'm gonna go into Publix now and just get some groceries that I need. Trying to eat healthier, you know, trying to take care of myself a little bit better, and, you know, improve my skin, you know, all this stuff that's good for self-care. So I'm gonna go inside and pick up a few things, and then I will touch base with you guys. You know, I'll be very transparent with you guys. I end up clearing, it's a little over $100 after taxes, 104, 105 for every day that I work as a sub. And I worked one day this week as a sub, and I am in this weird, I don't know if you would put the word as a stupor or what the actual clinical word is, but I feel like I'm able to get out of the house, like I do my hair, I'm putting on makeup, I'm grooming, I'm getting out, but I feel, I don't, like it's like a fog. That's my dad, who's you're hearing, and I don't feel like I'm at my thriving, bubbly best, and it's not worth it for $100. That, and I always come out of this state, like I've actually noticed the pattern, like I'll work a day, go into this weird stupor, 4 or 5 days goes by, I start to recover, and then we're right back at it. And this is not worth it for $100 or at most $200 a week. Of course, and she gets a kick out of this, and I know that, and I'm not going to rehash everything in this video, but I know from the different things that have been going on, and this is just, it's not a healthy environment or situation anymore. It never was. So now we are at Publix, and we're just going to pick up some stuff that we need for the next couple days, and I'll see if I get any comfort food. I actually ate way too many French fries, like way too many French fries. So we're in the grocery store and we're shopping, and there's a woman in the store. I'm not gonna like show her, but she's shopping with her kids that actually go to the school, and she was the type of sub that was subbing, you know, 2 days a week, and I don't know how much she needed the money, but she liked being there for them, and I actually every once in a while see her volunteering. But, you know, when the transition happened, she was actually one of the first to tell me that she wasn't being called anymore. The only days that she was working was when a teacher she knew specifically requested her. And so she doesn't, like, I don't want to be one to, like, judge someone's, like, you know, how they're doing, but she looks very, like, down. She looks kind of down. She looks kind of down. In a fog also, because don't forget, even if she didn't need the money, it was her routine. She was here, she would go to the school, be there for her children, and the change has taken away someone's routine from them, which is what helps your, you know, your state of mind and everything. You know, I'm glad that we're out and we're shopping and everything. You know, you take these things one day at a time, but I think that it really probably is time for the subbing to go bye-bye, because as I was saying, I can't have it where I work one day and then I'm down in the dumps, to put it, I guess the most simple way of saying it, for 4 or 5 days, and then I repeat that cycle. It's just not, that's not productive to the other things that I'm working on. We have gotten a lot of bread, as there was like lots of buy one get one options, and pickles, because I am a fan of pickles. Tell the people I am a fan of pickles. Am I a fan of pickles? Okay, okay, yes.
Why is the kid randomly hanging out with candy?
Okay. So we went grocery shopping, and I'm filming this on Friday night, and I don't really know what's going to end up happening for Monday. That'll end up being in another updated video, because I'd like to try to get this up for Monday. That's probably when you're watching this. But I don't really know what's going to happen with the subbing, if it's over at this point, or and I don't go in anymore, or what ends up happening as far as how many days more I actually work with it. But I can definitely see a difference in my personality now, as opposed to, for example, when you look at my vlogs that took place over the winter break, when like I posted videos on my channel like the fried food and all that, that was when I was actually off from subbing because they were on break. So I mean, I don't know, sometimes these situations just push you into other things. Ooh, it was the bird friend. My bird friend was back. But thank you all so much for watching. We got our groceries. Gonna head home now, and I wasn't originally gonna film anything today, but I ended up just being in the mood to film, and that's, I guess, when they tell you should film. And I think I've also probably included in this video some footage from the other day when I went to go sub. So that's probably in this video, I'm assuming. But okay, the dad will like to say hello and end the video with prune juice, because sometimes you need to drink prune juice. I actually don't need to drink prune juice today. I wanted to announce that. But on sale. Okay. So today I ended up working. I feel and look like hell. It's my dad. I ended up working today, last minute. I ran out of the house. I didn't have time to eat. I really didn't think I was gonna end up getting scheduled, and then I ended up getting scheduled, so I ran out of the house like a lunatic and got here just in time to go sub. And the class I ended up getting was, first group was okay. They were elementary, and then when they switched, the second group was, I think, what's called ESE. And at one point, one of the students in the class, I mean, he looks like he's been held back 5 years, and comes towards me with a pencil. He came very close to getting me the eye or the face, and luckily he didn't. Told the teacher next door, her comment was, oh, he has autism. It's like, I understand that we have students, and I'm very sympathetic towards, students who have special needs, but at the same time, I can get hurt. And teachers are getting hurt. I'm not going to have it where my vision is affected or my face is affected, where I get hurt like that. And then the rest of the class was ESE. It's different levels. One of the students, three of them are doing gymnastics in the class, and they're throwing things. I go to the teacher for help next door. Oh, maybe they just need a little rest. They need to rest their head. It's like, no, anything telling them to cut it out, nothing. One of the students, he continues, runs out of the room with his stuff. They have to try to find him on the intercom. He ends up back at the room, dances in front of the door, and then bolts out again. And they ended up seeing him in the office. But it was a miserable day. And then tomorrow, she's got it, the sub-caller, where she's implying that I'm going to work. The class, most likely, that I will have tomorrow is a class that is kind of... it's a class that's kind of known as like the last time before you drop out of school. Like those types of students. There's students that are troubled. There's students that have been in, I guess it's called juvenile detention. I've had this class before. One time I had it where one of the students in the class just screamed at me the entire time, rabidly screaming at me. Then there was another time I heard that one of the students in the class, threw a chair, either at the sub or someone. It's like, you'll hear them talk amongst themselves. They're probably 16, 17, and they're supposed to be 12, 11 at that age. You've had it, there's been a time before where you've had a student, I remember a year prior, they were driving themselves to school, and they thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Like, technically out of middle school, but it's like, you're driving to school.
It's up to 13 years old.
and I feel like I look like hell. I feel like hell, and I don't think I could go in tomorrow. I'm worried about having this class where she's so gracious to give me a class, but this class is very problematic. It's had students that have been in juvie and everything, and I'm worried about getting hurt or just coming out like shaking again. That's what happened last time. I was shaking, and I'm just gonna head home now. Yeah, just wanted to add this in, but I'm probably not going in tomorrow.
Finish it when you get home.
And also, even if I go in, I wanted to mention that even if I went in, there's no guarantee that she's gonna call me all the time, because I was loyal for years.
Read about it. Anything Kelly Education gets involved with, they destroy the school district.
You know, I have the grand opportunity to work tomorrow because some of these classes that come available are known as kind of like no one will do it. And this class that I would have tomorrow, because I already have it, she told me the sub-caller what most likely it will be tomorrow if I work. It's a dangerous class. This is a class where, you know, the student picked up a chair and threw the chair. No repercussions. They don't do anything. They tell the student, don't do that again. They don't expel these students. Eventually, some of them have been in juvie because they've done things outside of school that have gotten them arrested. But I'm concerned, quite honestly, that I'm going to get hurt in the class. I'm so beat. I'm battling in my head whether I should have gone in today or not. Originally, I had told her you could schedule me on a Monday and have me come in, but I also didn't think it was like you're going to give me the worst class on earth. And then I didn't wake up on time in the morning because I guess for some reason I didn't think she was going to schedule me, and then she did all of it, because it's been such a yo-yo that some Mondays she schedules me, sometimes she doesn't. So I don't know how to handle this anymore. So I got up and I rushed out, ate very quickly and got out. My dad didn't eat anything, got me out of the house, and I got there on time.
And fortunately, I was off today.
Yeah, that my dad happened to not have any work today. So otherwise I would have missed it this day. It probably would have been better, but you know, in this class I almost got hurt. Then it was just emotionally a lot. They don't give you any heads up at this school whatsoever that you have an ESE situation, or the entire class is ESE. Then if you end up finding out they're ESE, they'll gaslight you and not admit to you that they are ESE. Then you're telling them, you know, I'm getting hurt. This student, the one that came at me today with the pencil, he is the same student that in the past, he towers over me. You know, he's 5'5", and he's 5 years behind probably, for all I know. I don't know 100%, but he sure looks it. He towers over me, and he runs towards you to hug you, and he's like knocking you down. There obviously is no behavior plan in place where they explain to him not to do these things. And then she calls him outside, the teacher, the partner teacher. She's like, now what did we tell you about going towards people with pencils? And it's like, so, for me to go in tomorrow, number one, I am very, very, very beat now from today. 2, to go in, there's a strong chance that I could get hurt. I'm going into a class that's known as the last resort before they drop out of school. I'm very well aware that I look like hell, and I just need to go home now and wash up and try to take care of myself. But it has been a pleasant experience today, for sure. And I guess that's how I'm leaving the video, so yeah.